Okay, now, so let's move on to the information processing theory. Okay, so the idea of information processing theory is it's just like uh, in a computer, paano tayo mag-save or mag-store ng files kapag ito ay nawala, paano natin siya ma-retrieve. So that's the idea of the information processing theory. Okay, so as you can see, I have an advanced organizer here. Information processing theory, under that, we will discuss the types of knowledge, the general or specific, declarative, procedural, episodic, and conditional. Next, we have the stages or the three main stages. We have the encoding, storage, and retrieval. And next is the executive control processes. So later on, mali-discuss po natin kung ano po ba ang mga ito. We will define first information processing. So sinasabi na it is a cognitive theoretical framework that focuses on how knowledge enters and is stored and retrieved from our memory. No? So it also focuses on how people attend to the environmental events, encode information to be learned and relate it to the knowledge in memory, store new knowledge in memory, and retrieve it as needed. So, yan po ang definition ng ating information processing. Information processing theory describes how the learner receives information. So, as a learner, paano ba siya nakaka-receive or nakakatanggap ng information, no? So, from the environment, through his or her senses, and what takes place in between determines whether the information will continue to pass through the sensory register, then the short-term memory and the long-term memory. So, i-discuss ko din po mamaya kung ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng short-term memory and the long-term memory. Okay. First, dun muna po tayo sa types of knowledge, no? Meron po tayong tinatawag na general versus specific. So this involves whether the knowledge is useful in many tasks or only in one. Hindi lang po siya sa isang task, pero sa maraming task din po. Hindi lang po sa isa. Next is the declarative. This refers to a factual knowledge. So they relate to the nature of how things are, or they may be in the form of a word or an image. So, for example, name, ang inyong buong pangalan, address, no? Nursery rhyme, and simply the definition of the information processing theory, no? Next, we have the procedural. So this includes knowledge on how to do things, no? And example nito is including how to make a lesson plan. So it has procedures, may steps po tayong sinusunod sa paggawa ng lesson plan. Isa pa pong halimbawa is baking a cake. So may mga procedures po tayong sinusunod. And next is the episodic. Ano po ba itong episodic na ito? So this includes the memories of life events like your high school graduation. So ito po yung mga memories of life events natin, ng mga pangyayari sa ating buhay. Graduation, kasal, birthday, mga importanteng kaganapan sa ating buhay. So that is an episodic. Conditional. So this is about knowing when and why, kailan at bakit, to apply the declarative or the procedural strategies. So yun po yung conditional, no? Next, we have the stages in the information processing theory. So like what I have said, there are three main stages. So first is the encoding. Ano po ba itong encoding na ito? No? So, maihalin tulad natin to ng pag-encode ng information sa isang computer. Ano? Information is sensed, perceived, and attended to. When information comes into our memory system, o sa ating isipan from our sensory input, it needs to be changed into a form that the system can cope with so that it can be stored. No? So there are three main ways in which information can be encoded. Okay? So first is the visual picture. Second is the acoustic sound sa ating mga naririnig. And the last one is the semantic or meaning. So yung po yung mga ways in which information, para ma-encode natin ang information. Visual, acoustic, and semantic. Second is the storage. Ayan, dito naman tayo sa storage. Ano po ba itong storage na ito? The information is stored from either a brief or extended period of time. Minsan yung information na ating nalalaman is minsan panandalian lang or minsan ay pangmatagalan. It depends upon the processes following encoding. And this concerns the nature of memory stores. For example, where the information is stored, saan ito na stored, how long the memory lost for, how much can be stored at any time, and what kind of information is held. So yun yung sa storage. Retrieval. The information is brought back at the appropriate time. No, pag sinabi nating retrieve, maibalik. And reactivated for use on a current task, the true measure of effective memory. So it refers to getting information out the storage. Yun po ang retrieval. So for example, sa pag-save natin ng isang document or information sa computer, tapos nakalimutan na natin kung saan natin nailagay or na-send, paano natin siya ma-retrieve? So, example lang naman po yun. Yan. There are three main stages in the memory process. So first is the sensory register. So the main purpose of the sensory register is to screen, isinasala, the incoming stimuli and process only those stimuli that are most relevant at the present time. So meron ditong sinasabing capacity and duration. So may capacity and duration pala itong sensory register na ito. Sinasabi po dito na ang ating isipan, it receives a great amount of information, but it is more than what our minds can hold or perceive. Ang duration naman niya, the sensory register only holds the information for an extremely brief in the order of 1 to 3 seconds. So, ibig sabihin, yung kapasidad daw ng ating isipan or ng ating, ng ating kaalaman is may panandalian at may pangmatagalan. So, yung sensory register, it may hold an information for only 1 to 3 seconds. So, napakasaglit lang. It's just like a blink of an eye, no? There is a difference in duration based on modality. So, pag meron tayong auditory memory is more persistent than visual. So, mas bilis daw ang auditory memory than visual. Short-term memory, or what we call the working memory. So it is called the working memory because it is where new information is temporarily placed while it is mentally processed. Short-term memory maintain information for a limited time. So limitado lang pala yung panahon na ito until the learner has adequate resources to process the information or until the information is forgotten. Ang duration naman po nito ay around 18 seconds or less. So, may sinasabi tayong short-term memory na hindi natin agad napaprocess sa ating isipan. So, to reduce the lost information in 18 seconds, you need to maintain rehearsal, repetition, or pagme-memorize para mas lalo nating matandaan. So, halimbawa, tulad sa isang grade schoolers, uh, madali silang makasaulo, madali din silang maka-absorb ng mga ideas. But then, there are some times na talagang uh, na short-term memory sila or nakakaligtaan nila agad-agad yung information. Hindi lang sa grade schoolers, but then pati din tayo. Next, we have the long-term memory or the LTM. It is the final or permanent storing house for the memory information. It holds the stored information until needed again. The capacity of this is unlimited and the duration is indefinite. So, pangmatagalan. Kaya po sinawag na long-term memory. Next, we have the executive control processes. So it involves the executive processor or what is referred to as the metacognitive skills. So kapag sinabi po nating metacognitive skills, no? This is So, pag sinabi po nating metacognitive skills, so it pertains to the knowledge and skills for organizing, guiding, and controlling actions in learning process. Okay? So let's see the executive control processes. Sabi nga, it is referred to as metacognitive skills. Forgetting. So, ano po ba itong forgetting? It is the inability to retrieve or access information when needed. No? Why do we forget? Bakit po ba tayo nakakalimot? First, the memory has disappeared. Nawala. And it is no longer available. Hindi na siya available sa ating isipan or kaalaman. Second is the memory is still stored in the memory system, but for some reason it cannot be retrieved. So hindi na talaga siya kayang i-retrieve sa ating isipan or kayang maibalik, no? Nakakalimutan na natin. Pero normal naman po na makalimot. No, normal naman po yun sa isang tao or sa isang learner na makalimot. Hindi lang talaga siya totally na process as a whole sa isipan. So, the two main ways in which forgetting likely occurs. First is decay. Information is not attended to and eventually fades away. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, nawawala ito and very prevalent in working memory. Interference. There are new or old information that blocks access to the information question. So it has the proactive and the retroactive. So pag sinabi pong proactive occurs when you cannot learn a new task because of an old task that had been learned. Pag sinabi naman pong retroactive or the retro backward occurs when you forgot a previously learned task due to the learning of a new task. So ako po, halimbawa, isang learner din ako. Nag-aral ako before, nakatapos ako, and then sa haba ng panahon, nagkaroon na po ako ng pamilya, and then bumalik ulit po ako sa pag-aaral. So yung mga pinag-aralan ko before is hindi ko na din kayang i-retrieve lahat as as in as a whole, hindi. Nakakalimutan ko na din yung ibang information na aking natutunan before, no? So ganun po 'yon, interference. Methods for increasing retrieval of information. So, ito naman po yung mga ways kung paano natin ma-retrieve yung mga information. First is rehearsal, no? This is the repeating information verbatim, either mentally or aloud. Example, memorizing. Ayan, pati sa ulo. Second is the meaningful learning. So this is making connections between new information and prior knowledge. Pwede natin silang ipag-connect or ipag-ugnay-ugnay ang mga bagong impormasyon na ating nalalaman doon sa dati pa nating nalalaman na mga information. Organizations. It is making connections among various pieces of information. So, pinagtatagpi-tagpi natin, ino-organize natin, no? yung mga information para mas lalo nating ma-retrieve. Next is the elaboration. This is adding additional ideas to new information based on what one already knows, no? Ating i-clarify, ating ina-elaborate. Yan. Visual imagery or visual imagery. This means forming a picture of the information. So you draw a big picture, no? Generation, things we produce are easier to remember than things that we hear. Next is the context. Remembering the situation helps recover information. And the last one is the personalization. It is making the information relevant to the individual. Inihahalin tulad natin din sa mga iba't ibang bagay. So, para mas lalo nating ma-retrieve yung ating information. So, there are other memory methods, no? First is the serial position effect. Second is the part learning. Third is the distributed practice. And the last one is the mnemonic aids. Pag sinabi po nating serial position effect, may tinatawag po tayong recency and primacy. Ibig sabihin, you will remember the information from the beginning and at the end of the list more readily. No? Yun ang serial position effect. Pag sinabi naman po nating part learning is, it break up the list or we cut the information to chunks, no? Information to increase memorization, no? And third is the distributed practice. Break up learning sessions rather than cramming all the information in at once. So example, this is a mass practice. The last one is the mnemonic aids. Pag sinabi po natin mnemonic aids, so these are the memory techniques that learners may employ to help them retain and retrieve information effectively. Example, acronyms. Maaalala ni student o ni learner kung ano ba ang ibig sabihin nun. Sentence construction, no? Isang mnemonic aids din po yan. So those memory methods can also guide us and help us in our teaching and learning process. Now, we have here the information processing model, no? So, makikita natin dito kung paano ba napaprocess ang isang information. Information is received through the senses, no? And goes to the sensory memory for a very brief amount of time. If not found relevant, okay, makikita po natin dito, ayan, information may decay. It goes to the short-term memory. And if given attention and perceived and found to be relevant, it is sent to the long-term memory. So may decay, may forgetting, and retrieved. No? So, makikita din po natin dito yung executive control processes, including the metacognition na na-discuss natin a while ago, the rehearsal, elaboration, meaningful learning, organization, visual imagery, and generalization. Okay? So, yan po ang ibig sabihin at na-discuss natin kung ano po ang information processing theory na alam po natin is nakaangkla din at makatulong sa ating pagtuturo. So maraming salamat po. And let us see kung makikita din natin dito kung paano natin may apply sa teaching and learning process. Okay, thank you.